There is a pigeon on the ledge outside your window. Maybe you have seen it 100 times. Maybe you stopped noticing it entirely. It stands the way they always stand, that slight forward tilt, head pulling back and forth in that mechanical rhythm, chest feathers ruffled against the morning air. Ordinary, almost embarrassing in its ordinariness. A city bird, a background bird, the kind you walk past without a thought. But right now, at this exact moment, that bird is listening to something you cannot hear. Something that does not travel through air the way sound does. Something that moves through the ground beneath your feet, through the walls of your building, through the bones of the city itself, and that pigeon is reading it the way you might read a text message. Clearly. Precisely. Without effort. The world you think you inhabit is not the world that bird is standing in. Pigeons live inside a layer of sound that human ears cannot access. Not because the sounds are faint, but because they exist below the floor of human hearing entirely. Infrasound. Frequencies below 20 Hz, often as low as 0.1 Hz. Wavelengths so long they pass through concrete and steel and mountain ranges without losing their shape. Right now, outside your window, your pigeon is receiving signals that have traveled hundreds, sometimes thousands of miles to reach it. Thunderstorms over the Atlantic. The low moan of ocean waves breaking against a coastline it has never seen. The subsonic rumble of a mountain range settling in the dark. If you want to understand what this bird actually is, you have to first understand what it hears. And if you stay with this, something will shift in the way you look at every pigeon you see for the rest of your life. Subscribe if that is the kind of thing you are here for. The research that changed how scientists understood pigeon hearing came partly from work at Cornell University in the 1970s, when ornithologist William Drury began noticing that pigeons could detect barometric pressure changes and infrasound frequencies that no instrument in use at the time could even measure. Later studies confirmed that the pigeon ear contains a specialized structure, a region of the inner ear called the cochlea, that is tuned with extraordinary precision to frequencies below what any human ear can register. A pigeon's hearing extends nearly to 0.5 Hz. To put that in physical terms, imagine a sound wave so long that its single cycle stretches from New York to Chicago. That is the wavelength this bird is processing, standing on a concrete ledge, while a bus goes by below. It is not listening with its brain the way you listen. It is listening with its whole body. Most people assume pigeons navigate by landmarks, by memory of rooftops and church spires and the shape of the river from above. The reality is older and stranger than that. Research published in the Journal of Experimental Biology found that pigeons use infrasound as a primary navigational cue, mapping their position against a constantly shifting acoustic landscape that covers the entire surface of the planet. The ocean produces infrasound continuously. So do mountains. So do large rivers, weather systems, and geological formations. The Earth is always broadcasting, and the pigeon carries inside its body a receiver tuned to all of it. Every city the species has colonized, Rome, London, Mumbai, New York, sits inside an acoustic field that the birds were reading long before humans built anything there at all. This is not adaptation. This is inheritance. Something laid down across millions of years of evolution, long before our cities gave these birds their reputation for ordinariness. What you are looking at, when you look at a pigeon on a ledge, is an organism whose sensory world contains entire oceans you will never perceive, whose sense of place is not made of memory and vision, but of a continuous felt signal, pressure and frequency, and the low hum of a living planet feeding into a nervous system that makes sense of it all without a single conscious thought. The city is not where the pigeon lives. The city is something the pigeon passes through on its way to somewhere much larger. So go back to that ledge. Go back to that bird tilting its head in what you always assumed was nothing. It is not looking at you. It is not waiting. It is standing in a river of information so vast and so ancient that the noise of everything you have ever built barely registers as interference. The ordinary thing was never ordinary. You just couldn't hear what it was hearing. Tell me in the comments, have you ever watched a pigeon and felt like something was happening just out of reach? I read everyone. The city is loud, but underneath it, something older is always speaking.